Hello and welcome back to my garage here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. And as you can see, I've been a little bit busy here. These are well, let's see, I bought 6 cars last time. These are 5 of those cars. The other one was the little Suzuki 4-door hatchback, which, if you watched the last video, you saw that it ended abruptly, and that was because I screwed up the recording. But you didn't miss much. It was only about a minute or so, and it was where I decided to keep that little car because I decided I liked it a lot. And it's actually, I think it's here. Yeah, here's where it ended up. And it was worth about $89,000 when it was done, which is not too bad for a little car like that. These ones I have finished in the off time. This one over here is the Mustang Fastback Special Color. You see here 2+2 Fastback Special Color. I have picked up 3 or 4 of these. I think this is the 4th one I've done. And it is basically a standard Mustang Fastback with a standard engine, but it comes with a strange, kind of garish color. In each case I've done one of these, the color has been something kind of whacked out. I'm not even sure how to describe this. This is kind of like, I don't know, like a cross between peach and salmon. I don't know. I do these cars though because they're worth a lot of money. For some reason they sell for almost $500,000. Let's see, $487,000 for that. And then of course this is the Chieftain Bandit Shiv, which is their equivalent to the Pontiac Firebird. This is a base game car. I have one of these in my collection already, and this is the color, the factory color. I did change the tires. It comes with the tires that have the big white lettering on them, which I'm not really a fan of, so I put it with modern race tires. I also put a Hemi engine in it, because it came with a V8 6P, which is not a bad engine. The Hemi engine is better, and it's easier to build, so I threw that in there. It also makes it worth a bit more money. This is the car, in fact, if you look at the car that's at the starting screen of the game, this is the car that you see there. And they actually have a livery with the Firebird livery, but you have to use the regular, the Bandit Shiv uses different fenders. I think these are fender C and hood B. Yeah, fender C, front bumper B, and is the hood B, yeah. And you actually have to use the standard, just the hood, fender, and bumper, or that livery won't work. You can't put it on this car. It doesn't show up on the bumper and hood and whatnot, which is kind of a bummer. Because there's another fender that has like chrome vents, which it looks pretty neat. I'm not actually sure which variant of the car uses those. I don't think I've ever encountered them on a car. But anyway, got a frog in my throat there. I think this is $116,000, $117. So that's not too shabby. Now, I did go to the junkyard on my own hook after I finished that Bandit, and I found a couple of other pretty cool cars that I really want to work on. But what I really want to do is get this thing done and get it out of here, because it's already not an attractive car. This is the Mustang SN95 GT98, and it has, let's see, the SOHC Boss engine. Can put the Coyote or the supercharged V8. Probably not going to do that because that means it wouldn't really be drivable. I've put the body parts on it. I need to get it fixed up. There was another Mustang mod that landed in the workshop, like a Mustang Cobra or something. No, I don't remember. No, the Cobra is a different one, but it's one that looks like a Pinto. And I downloaded it. I haven't found it yet. I'm gonna do that car because I think it'll be funny. And yeah, I did all that stuff. So let's paint it. color looks kind of like a robin's egg blue. It's not terrible. Do they have any? Well, let's see, there's that. So it doesn't really have any liveries. I wish it had some stripes or something. I always like putting stripes on these cars. I guess I'll go with this. Can always change it later. It's kind of like a silver. It's kind of like a bluish silver metallic, silvery blue metallic, powder blue, blah blah blah. I'm not sure. This is not setting up to be a good-looking car, though. I mean, look at the long. When I put the bumper on it, it was like, boy, that's really long. I think I'm going to pick different rims for it, too. This is not one of my favorite rims. What do we have in here? It looks like the solid rear axle. Oh, good. That means it'll be fairly easy to do. Come out of there. Yeah, this one is a lot fewer bushings than the other one. This is probably, I mean, the leaf spring rear end I find really simple, really easy to slap together. This one is probably going to be simple that way as well. And I'm not sure what car this engine is from. The Boss. It might be the pickup truck. That Ford F-350 that we have. The DLC Ford, I don't recall. In a terrible position there. I think I'll go ahead and take the whole undercarriage apart. Oh yeah, this has front shock absorber A, which means there's no upper suspension arm. So there's only going to be like 6 bushings total in this one. No, more than that. There'll be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There should be 10. We'll see about that once I have them all out and I start going through the parts. That was front sway bar B. I actually noticed it this time. I always forget to look. Well, I guess I got the hub bearing out already. I was looking for it. I was like, wait a minute. Well, I got the cross member there. I didn't really mean to. What have we got going with this engine here? It's got both heads. That means it's going to have pistons in it. No bearings. So we'll have to buy all of those. That's fine. Oh, I don't have the other part of the rear end done. Almost there. Okay, get the engine out of it now too while we're at it. color is kind of growing on me. Didn't think I would like it, but I think it's going to be okay. Does that it says 4.6 liters? Yeah. Because the newer model Mustang, the DLC Mustang, is the 5.0. Let's see here. I wish that thing would stay on the. I wish it would stay at the setting where I left it. Every time I go into the game, I have to turn it back on. Let's see how many bushings there are. I'm pretty sure I counted 10, right? Yep, there we go. And we'll get the tie rods and sway bars out of there. Front sway bar B. No, not that one. I need A. 10 of these. That's the least number of bushings I've bought for a car in quite a long time. What do we got here? Yeah, I'm just going to nuke it all. These two calipers would probably be repairable. This one. Probably get 3 or 4 of these pieces back. The discs and the brake pads, of course, are not fixable. I always hate reusing brakes. I always feel like new brakes is the better idea. Let's get clutch pieces. Those are probably both going to be okay. That's pretty good. And that was gearbox V8, which is that one. Gonna need the hubs and the, let's see, these caps and bearings. Might be able to repair all of these. And there was something else. Oh yeah, because I need to nuke all of these parts. Because all the springs and stuff are no good. All the springs and stuff are no good. And that was rear shock absorber B, cap, spring cap. Okay, so let's look at the stuff that we still have. Oh yeah, these can go now. And anything that's less than 10% it's not even going to try to repair, so we just nuke this stuff. And front suspension crossmember D, I couldn't remember which one it was. Okay, so the stuff that's between 10 and 20% is borderline. We might get these things back. And above 20%, we have a pretty good shot at it. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, I only saw one thing for sure fail. That's not bad at all. Repaired that, which is always nice. Sell it for $7.50 instead of like $30 scrap value. One leaf spring U-bolt and one leaf spring plate, and we're set. Okay, and these tires are all 225, 55, 16. They're all the same size, so I can just buy those. 225, 55, 16. And that's a 16-inch rim. 225, 55, 225, 225. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I bought the right size. So we need 16-inch rims, and I don't really care for those, so let's see what we can put on it that would look cool. Like, everything in the rims DLC sucks, I swear. There's hardly anything in here I ever use routinely. Except for that. This Rim 7A I like. Rim 7 I like, because like, this one I like if I don't want to paint it, and this one I like if I want to paint it. And we could use... This one is one I use a lot, but it's a good one. And it'll look good if we chrome it. This one too. This is almost the same. No, this is not. This has more spokes than that. It has finer blades than this one. And this one has even finer blades than that. Or no, I don't think it does. Just shaped differently. I like this Classic 18. And we could use the Mustang. Let's see, this is the F350 rim, which I've used before on cars. It doesn't look terrible, depending on the car. And we could use the Mustang rim. I use the Mach 1 rim a lot on older Mustangs, and I use this one on newer ones. Let's see. The retro I use a lot on classic cars. This one is good too, Retro 7. I also like this Rim Typhoon. It has the hubcap piece here. I think that's a good looking rim. But I think what I'm going to do is use I'm going to use this one. Because these ones I can chrome out and they'll look nice. Okay, that should be all 4 of those. Yeah, I think that's going to look all right. I sure hope in the next version, because we know that Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 is coming, because Playway announced it. But man, I sure hope that they give us the option to do more than one single tire at a time. This is the one task that slows me down the most when it comes to building a car like this. I'm going to wait for this one to be done, and then I'm going to go get started. Because I'd like to have at least 2 wheels on me when I start assembly. I could have gotten that on there. I like to, with a rim, with something like this where there's a lot of parts that you don't have to screw in, I like to try to get all that in at once. So it makes everything, well, it goes together in a balanced kind of way, which satisfies me. But it's just easier not have to maneuver around a lot. But this rear end is easy. It's not like the rear. It's not like the suspension arm rear end that has so many bits and pieces. This is, I think, probably even a little bit easier than the leaf spring. And that wheel should be done. Yeah. Whoops. That should be the last one. Oh, I didn't buy the brakes. I remember selling them, but I didn't buy them. Ah! See how that looks when the other one is on. Yeah, that's definitely going to look good. I must have been able to repair the rack too. Yeah, I didn't buy one. This car actually had, I think, a higher proportion of parts that were repairable than some I've done. I can't remember now, but I actually think that special color Mustang that I sold at the beginning there, I had to buy a lot. There was a lot of stuff that wasn't repairable on that. I think I had to rebuild most of the chassis from scratch. Yeah. I'm really happy with how that looks. I need to get rid of these before I accidentally put one of them on there. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that looks. This rim is one of my favorites, but I'm really pleased with how it looks on the car. Excellent. Yeah. You know what? I really thought this was going to look like crap. When I first put the body together, I really thought it was going to come out looking terrible. It actually doesn't look bad. Yeah, I think I'm going to be pleasantly surprised to see what it looks like when it's outside. And now I need to get to work on this thing. I'm pretty sure this is the engine from the pickup truck. don't think I have done one of these recently. I mean, if it is the engine that I'm thinking it is from the F350, but it's been. I mean, and you noticed it said it was the excuse me, the rear wheel drive version. And this is the one that has like, pretty sure this is the one that has like 16 spark plugs, because there's spark plugs that go both on either side of the cylinder heads. But there's an F350. There are two F350s that you can get if you have the Ford DLC. There's the all-wheel drive and the rear-wheel drive versions. I have done both. I think I actually have one of each of them still sitting in my storage waiting for me to finish them. I kind of want to do them both at the same time just so I can see what they look like. Let's get rid of some things here, because all this stuff we're not going to use. Get the bearing caps while I'm thinking about it, because I know I need 3 of those and 8 of these, and V8 oil. It's going to be this one, and this is a V8. I think it might actually be this oil pan, because it's not the blue one. This is Chrysler. This is for an overhead valve engine. I'm pretty sure it's this one. I'll take a stab at that. Okay, roller A, pulley A. I'm going to go ahead and buy V8 OHVI. Pretty sure this is not the one that it uses. I could be wrong though. This is one of those weird engines. Ignition coil. Oops, I think I just bought an extra one. Cam gear V8i. And I actually think that these V8i pieces are not in here. Let's see. Yeah, there's no camshaft. And V8 OHVI, V8i. Was that how to make? I want to make sure that's the right one before I blow $2,000. Yeah, that is. Engine head A, engine head B. Yeah, engine head A, engine head B. I want to get the timing stuff as well. Is it 2 of those? V8A, V... Yeah, it is 2 of them. Okay. Oh yeah, there's a roller. Camshaft cap. Damn it. And there was probably like 8 of these. Okay, so yeah, we're not going to get that. Yeah, I just wanted to check again and make sure there's no camshaft V8i. So you know what? I'm just going to buy these because one of those was only 21%, which may or may not be fixable. 10% of the timing cover. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to repair these and sell them. So we didn't get the crankshaft or the timing cover. Repaired both of those. $600. $1,200 on those. That's nice. That's the reason why you do that. V8i timing cover, which is going to be way the hell down here somewhere. It's right in front of me. There it is. And the V8J crankshaft. I know I'm going to need an alternator and a power steering pump. I just don't know which ones. Well, the regular ones. Okay, good. Jump out and get those, and then we should be. I don't have everything, but we should be able to get a long way before we need to buy something. Actually, you know what? I don't think I have a fuel filter, actually. Usually I buy a fuel filter when I buy the fuel pump for the fuel tank, but I'm not sure if I did this time, and I didn't. Okay, I always like to get the crankshaft secured before I start hanging stuff off of it. The game doesn't care, but it pleases me. And honestly, I don't think I would like it if it did care. Because, I mean, I'm playing a game here. I'm not pretending I'm an actual mechanic. And if you really had to worry about, you know, putting things in and having them fall out because, you know, gravity exists, it wouldn't be as much fun, I don't think. There's another game I saw on Steam that's I forget the name of it, but it's another mechanic game. Oh look, I got the right oil pan. It's another mechanic game, but it's apparently much more in-depth. And I don't really want to play a game that's like a job. I just like building, you know, pretty cars and making lots of money. Okay, I knew there was a V8. Is there a manifold? Exhaust manifold V8i. No, there is not. Oops. Where is it? Exhaust manifold V8. Wait a minute. It looks kind of familiar. Yeah, it's right there. What the hell was I... Right in front of my face. I do remember this one, though. It has spark plugs on both sides of the head. Need to buy those rocker arms. I don't have those. Don't have that intake manifold, and I'm sure there's a throttle body that goes on it. And it occurs to me that I don't have a starter for this car either. I swear I always end up buying the starter last. Nope, nope, nope. I think we're going to end up with the... Actually, this works, because the timing cover will go on. And that makes sense at this point. I see a spark plug that doesn't have its coil. There we go. I did buy an extra coil, but that's alright. Gonna need to buy belts. Belt tensioner for sure. Okay, so rocker arm, intake manifold. There that is. V8i rocker. Is it? Yeah, there it is. It's a great big belt that hits everything. That's where the throttle goes. But this oh look, fuel rails. I should have remembered that. This is a rocker that I don't mind doing because it's one piece. Got a whole bunch of bolts that go on it, but you can line them all up, do them all at once, as opposed to installing 16 of these things individually. Okay, head cover. That throttle B V8 is not here. Yeah, I keep hoping they'll add it, but it's not here. Fuel rail DI. Throttle B V8. Oh, I need those head covers. I think there might be wires too. This one and this one. So I think that there's wires that go from the coils to those other... Yep, there are. Wires V8i. I'm pretty sure there's not... I'm pretty sure those aren't here either. Yeah, no. That's for one of the Chrysler cars, and that's for one of the Mercedeses. And these are the generic ones. That's actually for the Hemi. We need these wires here on each side. That should do us. Pretty sure that's everything. Make a turn around the engine to be sure I don't forget anything. Because the Chieftain Bandit that I had here a minute ago, I finished the engine, I took it off, put it in the car, got everything hooked up, and went to send it to the dyno to test it, and it wouldn't go because it was missing parts. And then I looked at it and realized I hadn't installed the cooling fan or the belts or anything up front, at the front of the engine. It's like, gee, I'm glad nobody saw that. I noticed that the exhaust doesn't line up here. You see this front exhaust pipe and the exhaust manifold there, they don't line up. It's common in modded cars though. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason for it. I'm not putting anybody down for that. It's just something you see a lot. They either don't have exhausts at all or they don't connect properly. Okay, 100% across the board. Let's go and test you out. $294, and it's going to be over 500, I think. $509, just over 500. Not too shabby. I think 500 horsepower in this car is going to be perfectly fine. I mean, that's why I'm glad. I did give some consideration to putting in the supercharged V8, but I'm glad I didn't. That would have been far too much engine for this car. There was another Mustang I did. I think it was the Cobra, actually, the Mustang Cobra, and it had the supercharged V8 as an option, and it had like 1,400 horsepower, and that car was just utterly undrivable. This looks pretty good inside too. It all fits together properly, and nothing is clipping inside. I can see it has a clutch pedal. It always amuses me when I do a car where I put in a clutch and pressure plate and everything, and then you get in the car and it's an automatic. This one has a tape deck. You see that right there? It tells you how old it is. 95? GT98? Something like that? Let's go for a drive. Okay, here we are. Let's get outside. Yep, it does look pretty good. It looks a whole lot better than I thought it would. I'm actually really pleased with it. I bet it would look even better if it was red. I like everything to be red, though. I don't think that grille is proper. I don't think that grille is filled in correctly. The Mustang emblem is just kind of hanging there in space. But yeah. Let's see what this thing can do. Up over 100. It's not too bad. It's tracking nice and straight too. Now we are drifting toward the inside. I think we're going to top out around 146. Yeah, 146. That's to me that seems entirely appropriate for this car. I mean, it's not so fast that it's not so powerful that you would go out and kill yourself in it on the spot, but it's powerful enough that it would be a lot of fun to drive, and it has a lot of get up and go. 8 seconds to 100 miles an hour is not too shabby at all. All right, cool. Let's go back. Okay. So now I want to see. I have been kind of pointedly not looking, and it's been long enough that I don't remember how much I paid for this car. It couldn't have been very much. It's probably going to be worth a decent amount of money at this point. Let's see. So looks like $88,000, 89. Yep, almost 90 grand. Almost 90 grand for this car. That's not too bad at all. I mean, I like selling cars for $500,000, $1 million, but 90 grand for a 98 Mustang strikes me as pretty darn good. And somebody would be very happy with this car, I think. I might even be tempted to keep it because I like it. I'm quite pleased with how it came out. I'm really pleasantly surprised with how good it looks. If I were going to keep it, though, I'd paint it red. And I'm sure I'll find another one of these at some point, so let's go ahead and... Nope. Go ahead and sell you. So that's, well, with the two cars I sold already, it was well over $500,000 anyway. And that's just a little bit of icing on the cake. So I have this thing still, this Fiat X19. It's 11 grand right now. Be interesting to see what it reaches when it's fully done. I'm definitely putting different wheels on it, though. Those look stupid. Those look really cheap and generic. Even has like standard tires on it. What kind of engine is in this thing? It's an i4. I could put a turbocharged i4 in it, it says here. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, though. 51 horsepower for a 4-cylinder engine. It's like nothing. And then, of course, I have this Ferrari over here. I have another one of these, which you may remember that I kept. And this one is worth almost, let's see, $3.8 million at this point, just cosmetically fixed up. I am going to finish this car and then compare it to the race car one. What's probably going to happen, though, is that I'm going to keep this one and sell the race car, because I'm not a big fan of race cars. And I actually have a couple of other really cool cars in storage that I picked up that I want to get out and get done. So we'll probably do something like that next time around. So, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to see you again here for our next Junkyard adventure. So on that note, bye for now.